Welcome everyone once again. I am Shanker from Green World Group. In today's session, we will be discussing the journey towards a HAZOP chairman or a HAZOP team member. We have actually previously done a video on HAZOP and we got a lot of requests asking on how I can become a HAZOP team member, or the high-end question is how I can become a HAZOP chairman. So keeping this in mind, this particular presentation will cover the qualification, essential skills, as well as a training that's required, or a certification we can say, as well as the career progression pathway also, to help you understand how you can step into this important role. So that's what we will discuss. So but before we start, please ensure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also please don't forget to press the bell icon so that you all will be informed about the regular updates on our latest video. So at any point of time, if you have any doubts on any of the content that we are doing, please feel free to contact any of our staff member, and we would be happy to assist you. Okay, so let's start into the first session, starting with the core requirements needed for becoming a HAZOP chairman or a HAZOP team member. So the core requirements. To begin with, and let's look at the core requirements to becoming a HAZOP auditor or a HAZOP team member, and eventually leading to a HAZOP chairman. So firstly, I would advise, based on the educational qualification, it's better to have an engineering degree, BTech or MTech in process safety or chemical engineering, which I would say is essential. So this particular background, why I say it is essential, is that this particular background ensures that you have the right technical knowledge in order for you to understand the complex process systems as well as various safety protocols that are being followed in a process industry. Then comes the industry experience, is the another key requirement. So when I say about industry experience, I am looking for at least 5 to 10 years in operations, process design, or safety roles in any high risk sectors. Let's say, for example, oil and gas, petrochemical industry, pharmaceutical industry. These are examples of it. So the reason this experience is important is that it will actually equip you with a real world understanding on how to identify as well as assess all the potential risk associated within the process industry. So the next one, on the next slide, we are going to see about, or we are going to talk about essential skills that are required. So essential skills. So in order to become a HAZOP auditor, the first skill is the in-depth knowledge of process safety principles. So this will include understanding the full scope of risk within a particular process, including how to evaluate as well as how to mitigate them. That's the first skill. The next one is interpreting the P&ID drawings, or piping and instrumentation diagrams, as well as process documentation. So various other process documents. So these documents are the key part of a HAZOP study. So they actually provide the detailed technical insight which are necessary for assessing a process hazard effectively. So you should have a thorough knowledge on how to interpret these documents. So that comes definitely with some previous educational background as well as some experience in this particular industry. That's very, very important. Then comes the strong facilitation and communication skills. Of course, it is very important for any type of work, I would say. So as a facilitator, you have to manage a particular team, then guide discussions, then ensure that all hazards are identified, all the control measures that are selected are suitable and sufficient. So when I say about this, a very important term I can say is that leadership. So leadership and decision making abilities are very important, as well as you will be guiding the entire team towards conscious and solutions, as well as if it has to be a successful risk assessment exercise, then you should be a very good team leader. That's very, very important skill. Now on our next slide, we are going to talk about various kind of trainings and certifications. So trainings and certifications. So the first and foremost is a formal HAZOP training, which can last of approximately 3 to 4 days. You can find several courses available in the market, which will help you to understand what a HAZOP study is, a formal training. So we can say about 16 to 24 hours of study of 3 to 4 days. It will have a structured learning on HAZOP methodologies, gate words, team facilitation, as well as how to do documentation, etc., will be taught in that. Now, for those people who are aiming to become a HAZOP chairman, additional training is often required, specifically the lead HAZOP facilitator or a chairman certification. Organizations do provide that. You can get in touch with also. We will be happy to assist you on that. We have several advanced level of courses available within our portfolio of courses. Now these are about 5 to 6 days of intensive training, and then definitely, as I said, in addition to HAZOP specific training, 5 to 10 years of industry experience, which I have already defined you, which I have already told you, which is a very, very essential. And there are other open certifications also which are available in the market, particularly in the field of a functional safety or process hazard analysis, which is a PHA techniques. These all things can actually further enhance your qualifications as well as preparedness for doing this particular risk assessment. So before I cut short or go into the career progression pathway, you have to understand that particularly in the safety industry, not only in safety industry, every industry, CPD is very, very important. CPD is continual professional development. After completing one set of course, don't think that my pathway in terms of that particular career is this education is enough. No, absolutely not. The more you study, the more language you get in. That means you should be able to update yourself on a regular basis. That's very, very important for your successful career. So don't stop studying, continue and maintain your CPD on a regular basis. Now we will see what's the career progression pathway in this process industry. As you see in this particular picture, the first one starts with a HAZOP team member. Definitely initially you will be a team member where your role will be to contribute your ideas, then identify the hazards within the process, as well as to suggest suitable and sufficient control measures. Then the next step after the team member is to become a scribe. Now, where a scribe's responsibility is real-time documentation. When the discussion happens, the people are sitting on a group of in a big table, and when they do discuss, it's a responsibility of the scribe to ensure that all decisions are accurately recorded, particularly during that particular HAZOP exercise. Then comes, as you gain more and more experience, then you might transition into a role of a HAZOP facilitator. Now the facilitator is a person who will manage the discussions and lead the team throughout this particular process. And the final one is the HAZOP chairman, which is actually the role of chairman, I would say, is more into which involves a strategic authority where he or she will oversee the entire HAZOP process and ensure, and also he also has to ensure that the study is conducted efficiently, thoroughly, and that all risks are identified and suitable and sufficient control measures are suggested for it. So we have to always keep in your mind that this particular progression is experience driven. As I said, experience is very, very important, and with the right mindset and a proper professional development plan or a program, you can definitely achieve this. So in order to achieve this, once again, before I go to the conclusion part, CPD, continual professional development, is very important. So that comes up. So in conclusion, in order to become a HAZOP chairman, it requires, you should require a combination of technical knowledge, leadership skills, and extensive industry experience. So without this, not possible, very tough. So, and also you should also understand that with the right qualification and mindset, you can actually, not only ensure compliance and prevent incidents, but also play a pivotal role in safeguarding the life as well as assets. So that's all with regards to the progression on, or I would say, how to become a HAZOP team member and then slowly progress towards a HAZOP chairman. So thank you all for your attention, and I hope this session has provided you with a clear understanding about the qualifications, skills, as well as the steps in order to become a HAZOP team member, then scribe, facilitator, and all the way to HAZOP chairman. So thank you all for watching. Subscribe to our channel, press the bell icon, and keep informed about the latest videos from our side. Wishing you all a very good day from Green World. Take care. Bye bye.